Hi, hello. My name is Doris Wesley. I'm affiliated with the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Thank you so much for viewing my video. I would like to specially dedicate this video to late Dr. Susan Docton, who actually introduced me to the research approach of rhetorical analysis. So the title of my research paper is A Critical Rhetorical Analysis of Michelle Obama's Messages on the Abduction of the Nigerian Chibok Schoolgirls. The rhetorical context of situation was that on the 14th/15th, which is the early hours of 15th of April 2014, almost about 300 female students were kidnapped by a terrorist group named Boko Haram. So Boko Haram terrorist group located in Nigeria actually began by opposing Western style education, particularly for female or for women and girls, and later were known for perpetrating wild scale unending violence in Nigeria and other neighboring countries. So after the incident, after the abduction took place, there was this hashtag Bring Back Our Girls that was really highly recognized on social media. It gained a lot of national and international recognition, and the public icon Michelle Obama joined in to the cyber activism, as well as communicated other messages about the abduction of these young schoolgirls. So at first she used the hashtag in her tweet. Later she condemned the terrorist act during a Mother's Day message she gave. And then later on, she held a conference meeting with some international experts on the issue. So afterwards, after our messages were globally and widely communicated, it arose a lot of world reactions and responses about Michelle Obama's messages. And I'm going to be exploring that in this presentation. So the literature review I used, the literatures I used was highly from Sarah Hayden and Yasmin Huggins. And Sarah had previously explored the maternal performances of Michelle Obama by communicating her as an intensive mom, meaning someone who focuses on a maternity or a maternity status over our professional accomplishments. She also identified Michelle Obama as an embodiment of African American motherhood, as someone who enacts the maternal discipline as a way to debunk negative public perceptions of Black motherhood, and also as an other mother-in-chief, basically as someone who accepts mothering the responsibilities of non-biological children. And then Yasmin actually highlighted the mothering of African descendants and saying that Michelle Obama is known for her love for education. She's served as several role models to many young Black African Americans or African women and girls. And she's also been known for mentoring a lot of this particular group. And it could be seen through her campaigns, her public policies, her value orientation, even the events that she organized in the White House while she was still the first lady. So there's a research gap that I was able to identify. And in as much as previous studies have examined the feminist rhetorical strategies employed by Michelle Obama's public addresses or messages to diverse audience, none actually applied the Afrocentric framework, let alone approached it from an African feminism perspective when analyzing the situation about an African issue in this context. So no previous studies have also analyzed our messages about the abduction of the schoolgirls, nor connected that abduction to the establishment of the Let Girls Learn initiative. So to this end, my research hopes to contribute to the scholarly discussions and relationship between Afrocentricity and African feminism as it pertains to long-standing erasure of African women's narratives. So the theoretical framework for the research was Afrocentricity, which is basically the conscious process. It's a quality of thought. It's an actionable mode of analysis wherein Africans seek from a place of agency to locate and assert positions within the context of African history, African culture, or even African context. Another is African feminism, and there are several models of African feminism. For the purpose of this research, I focused on two, named womanism and modernism. So African feminism actually involves freeing the African women from historical disadvantage relative to men and gender injustices. So when it comes to the rhetorical analysis itself, Michelle Obama was the rhetor, and I could identify her as a contemporary modern womanist. And a woman is, the philosophy of a womanism is just canvassing for the support or for the importance of African women's, trajectory, just canvassing for the support to make sure that that's settled and well taken care of. And in Michelle Obama's tweet about the Chibok schoolgirls, we could see that she emphasized and she empathized, she connected with the abductees and their loved ones by using the hashtag when asserting a position. And we can see here she says, our prayers are with the missing Nigerian girls and their families. It's a time to hashtag bring back our girls. So our statement of sending our prayers to the abductees and their families shows our support, shows our empathy and our connection with the abductees as well as their families. She also reinforced through her tweets, is a way of saying that she reinforced the importance and the values of African girls and the oppressive tactics inflicted by the Boko Haram terrorist group by speaking against the underlying presence of gender inequality, as well as the restriction from accomplishing a better quality of life, which is getting an education. So the other modern as the rhetorical strategy is Michelle Obama has been known as somebody who has embodied and also loved to identify herself as a mother-in-chief, as a mom-in-chief. And so being a mom-in-chief, she's known for assuming the responsibility for non-biological children. And she did this in the Mother's Day presentation or the Mother's Day video she actually published. And so she was able to use two young girls as a way of using them as a framework where she could use them to identify with other African females and other African women or other African young girls as well. She also situated the Nigerian Chibok girls situation from a place of value, from a place of an African descent where women should be supported to be free and to be able to earn an education. And she situated it from a place of agency. And we could see that in the video where we're able to see that Michelle Obama focused on the African context, the African culture, the African struggles, the African experiences. And then how did this connect to the Let Girls Learn initiative? And that's some of the things that previous researchers haven't done. So the Let Girls Learn initiative was established in 2015. And then it was established soon after the abduction of the Nigerian Chibok schoolgirls, where she was able to connect the Chibok schoolgirls abduction to Malala, who is a Pakistani activist, who also had experienced similar events with, from a terrorist group as well. And so she was able to connect that struggle to the struggles of many girls and millions of girls worldwide. And we also see that Michelle Obama said it was like a call to action. That situation, that incident was a call to action to many people so that it could motivate them to be interested in the girls' education. Fully aware of the public attention on the issue, she globally advocated for the advancement of the girls' education, which invariably means that she was able to speak to international education experts on the issue and eventually led to the Let Girls Learn initiative. So after this, what happened? There were so many reactions. There were lots of responses to our messages. We had people from, the ISIS group, which is another group of terrorist group in the East. And so we had them, imitate Michelle Obama, also held the sign like she held in the tweet saying, bring back our girls. So they held the sign that read, bring back our Humvee. And this is basically to criticize the Obama's administration on their foreign policies towards the war on terror, which was the, American drone strikes in Pakistani, Yemen, Somalia, and other countries as well. And many critics didn't really appreciate Michelle Obama's intention for reason known to them. However, on the other hand, there were so many responses and positive responses about the messages. So we saw through the research that the Bring Back Our Girls campaigners in Africa urged the Nigerian federal government to improve military welfare and focus on rescuing the girls. A campaigner noticed that the abduction was taken seriously as a global issue because of Michelle Obama's involvement and could also lead to international assistance, which actually did lead to it. So, in conclusion, how do we just wrap all of this together? What do we make of all of this? Michelle Obama's rhetorical strategy shows that she's very strategic. It shows that she gracefully, exhibited the qualities of an African feminist. She also showed that she also showed this by the way she expressed her concerns. She got involved into the situation. She canvassed for the support of the Nigerian Chibok schoolgirls. She situated the African narrative, most importantly, in the context of its cultures, its experiences, and its struggles. Other choices Michelle Obama made was to use an inclusive language. You saw where she used the we, the are, our prayers, and all the like. So she used inclusive language when communicating about the issues. She empathized with the abductees and their families. She mobilized the American and the Nigerian government to jointly work together towards searching and freeing the Nigerian Chibok schoolgirls. She also communicated the African plight to the world. So she brought a lot of recognition to the issue, and she linked the African situation or incident with other ongoing global issues concerning the girls' education, which eventually led to the establishment of the Let Girls Learn scheme to reduce the problems. So there are several rewarding, but I highlight two rewarding avenue for research, for future research could be to conduct a critical rhetorical analysis of all Michelle Obama's public speeches that took place immediately after the Nigerian Chibok schoolgirls abduction up until the establishment of the Let Girls Learn initiative in 2015, so as to examine the performances or rhetorical actions she made during this time frame. It's also important to explore the impact or the outreach of the Let Girls Learn education program itself. As an African schoolgirls, what does that initiative, how has the initiative impacted the African schoolgirls' life, and what are the representations of Afrocentric feminist perspective that could be seen in the way the initiative was actually established. And doing all of this would invariably mean that there will be an expansion in the First Lady's scholarship, and from the perspective of both an Afrocentric standpoint and an African feminism perspective. Thank you so much for listening to this video, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, great day as you spend your time exploring the conference and enjoying the NCA conference 2020. Have a blessed day.